All right, I'm going to be making the Christmas tree card or a tree card, depending on what you want to do with it. So I'm going to use a red paper as my background. You can use whatever color you would like. I also have my quarter sheet writing page. This one says Merry Christmas, so I'm going to only need one of these. And I also have my strips. So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different green ones, and then one brown for a trunk. You're gonna also need scissors. You're gonna need a glue stick, something to write the inside of your card with, something to color the inside of your card. I'm also gonna use a pencil for part of it. And the other thing you might want, which I'm going to try, is I'm going to have some white glitter and some white glue because I think I'm going to add some snow to mine. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start by folding my card. So I like to do corner to corner, so top corner to bottom corners. Match them up and press down. This card I'm going to actually be doing tall like this, so it's going to open like this. So I like to do my writing next. So I'm going to go ahead and color in my writing, write a note, but first let's cut it out. Okay, so now we're going to do our tree. The tree is actually very simple. I really enjoy doing this one because it is really simple. I don't have to really think about too much with cutting. So the first thing is our trunk. We can save that for after we do this next step. And the next step we're going to do is get all your green rectangles. So I like to line mine up, and like I said, there should be 5. One is a square. But you should have 5 total green pieces, and I like to line them up by my tallest, and I kind of go down to the shortest. And I do this for a reason, because we're going to want them in the correct order. Kind of look like stairs. So what you're going to do with all of these, every single one, is we're going to fold them in half. So I like to do it again. I like to do it so they're tall and skinny, and then I'm going to just go down my line and fold these in half. So just kind of fold them down. So 1, you're going to notice they should still be in the order after you folded them, with tallest to shortest. Squares are really hard to fold, but hopefully you can do it. Okay, so now they're all folded. Again, they should still be tall to short. What we're going to do now is keep them in this order still, because it's going to help us in a second. I want you to take your tallest one, okay? And then I want you to take the next tallest, and you're going to put that on the outside of your tall one. So your tall one should stick out. What you're going to do is where your second tallest ends, you're going to draw a line on the edge of it onto your tallest one, okay? So when I move my tallest one out, it should now have a line. Now I want you to take the next size, and you're going to put it on the outside of that one, okay? And we're going to do same thing. Where that one ends, draw a line. And you're going to move it. You can put that one right back in our line. Grab your next one, put it on the outside. Same thing, on the edge, draw that line straight down. Put the middle one back, grab our little tiny square, and draw a line. All right. They should not now all have a line on them except for a little square. Don't worry. But we're going to take our biggest one. So what you're going to do is, I drew this line as a guide for me because I'm going to be making a triangle shape. And right now, all of our rectangles are different sizes. You see that? So our triangle shape isn't going to really be a triangle. It would be like this, but you can make a tree like that. I've done that. But we want to make it kind of look like it all goes together. So what we just did is we drew a line to see where our other shape would end. That way, when I'm making my triangle in a second, you're gonna see how knowing this point helps me create that line to make it even. So I'm gonna start with my biggest one. And what you're going to do is, make it darker so you can see. I'm gonna be taking my scissors and I'm gonna cut from this outside corner up to the top of that line I just drew. Okay, so I'm gonna make a triangle. So I'm cutting from, again, this corner, and we're gonna basically make a diagonal to that top of my line. See? So now the line from my corner up to my top of my line. So when I look at this now connects to that shape. So now I'm going to do it with my next size. Same exact thing. So I'm folding it, and you're keeping it folded, so you're cutting both sides at the same time. I'm going to cut diagonal from this bottom corner up to the top of that line I just drew. And if I were to stack these on top of each other, you're going to see they start to make, you see my line I'm making? So we're going to continue doing that for the next ones. All right, so I did my other ones. So I have my 4 that I drew lines on. My last one is my square. My square, I didn't draw a line. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut from my corner, just like I did before, but up to that folded point. So same exact thing, but instead of a line that I drew, it's just to the fold. All right, so here is our folded tree. Now, watch what happens as we open it up. So I have my bottom layer, and then my next one, and my very itty bitty top is my triangle. See how you guys just made a triangle tree out of our rectangles? So what you're going to do next is we're going to be putting it onto our tree trunk. One thing I will say before you glue is, do you see how one side has my lines? I want to make sure that side is glued down so I don't see it. There are many ways to do this. The easiest way I have found is I like to glue my tree trunk down first onto my card. So all I do is slide the glue up and decide where I want the tree trunk. It can be anywhere you want. I'm going to put mine just in the middle. Then I like to start from my top and I go down. So I'm going to take my little triangle, put glue on the back, and I actually put the triangle right on top of where that rectangle is. So it doesn't actually go over the brown rectangle, just goes right directly on top. So it looks like a little hat. Then I take my next one down and I put my glue on the back. And then I like to leave a little space in between them. You see that brown? Just to make it look a little bit more interesting. And I glue it down. And I'm going to keep going down my tree. So I glued mine all down. I do like to do this, flip it over, press it down. This kind of helps flatten it out a little bit. All right, so you can leave it like this. I actually love it like this. It's very simple, so I enjoy it. Or you can draw some ornaments on it. You could add ornaments with glitter, with actual like little jewel things. I'm gonna actually add some snow. I have not done this, so we're gonna see how it turns out. Could be wonderful, could be awful. I don't know, we're gonna find out. I just have some white paint. I'm gonna put some on my scrap paper because I don't need it. And I'm going to use, I think I'm gonna use my fingertip. You could also use a pencil eraser or a Q-tip. I'm just gonna use my finger because why not right now? I don't need a whole lot, I'm just gonna put a little bit on. And I think I'm going to do it just around. You can see I don't need to fill it up a bunch. I don't need huge blobs everywhere. Just when it starts to get a little bit lighter, I put more on. I think I'm just going to do snow around the tree and leave the tree green. But you could definitely do the snow going over the tree as well. All right, so I put my snow on. Good reason to use Q-tips or an eraser would be so you don't get glue on your finger for your next step. So my next part is going to be, I want to add glitter to it. You don't have to, you can leave it like this because this also looks really cool just like this. I'm gonna add glitter before this glue dries, or the paint dries, not glue. So it's still wet. I'm putting on another sheet just so when I'm done, I can put all the extra back in. So just put it over the paint while it's still wet. If the paint's not wet, it's not gonna work. And you see, we made a really quick, simple, easy, but super cute card that I'm hoping someone will absolutely love.